Hi there. I just want to touch on a couple things, and if you take a few minutes to reflect on your past week and some of the things that came up, maybe some things that caught you off guard, or things that weigh heavy on your heart, or over the last couple of days, or maybe something happened today is just kind of consuming your mind and your energy and stuff, and there's an aspect that I'm really been learning a lot is how to take things a little more lightly and realize how much power there is in my life. Seems ironic if I learn how to surrender that heavy energy, that some of the pain, or some of the sorrow, some of the attachment, some of the longings I have built that aren't satisfied at this point, and I carry this stuff with me. But the more I engage with spirit, I'm so amazed that spirit has everything covered. I mean, the spirit knows the beginning from the end. It knows my journey, and it knows my soul contract. It knows all the twists and turns that I'm facing. And so in essence, all I need to be concerned about is living again in the moment, and allowing my soul to expand, allowing my soul to grow. And the soul grows when it's able to look at things in your life that you've held back, perhaps, or you allow your soul to touch on maybe some past wounds, or things that maybe happened when you were a child, or some relationships maybe with your parents or your father, your mother, or some bullies at school and stuff. There's always something that may be lingering, and the soul just wants to shed light on that. It wants to kind of expose it and say, hey, yes, this happened. You were a part of this. This is energy. And this energy maybe has made your way. Maybe there's a root of bitterness, or some judgment, or some kind of a pain or something. Or maybe you've disassociated and you don't even realize it's there until you can breathe into it and realize it kind of creeps up. Or maybe you get triggered, but you don't know why. So the soul's growth is all about the expansion, and looking at the conflicts, looking at the trigger points, looking at the things that kind of don't sit well with you, and allows you to breathe into it, to face your fears, spend some more energy in there. And oh my goodness, it is so liberating just to realize that on every corner, spirit has something already in place. There's a part of the deed or whatever, just that okay, they'll take care of this aspect, they'll take care of this back, they'll make something real from bitter to sweet really quick, or they'll protect you if you just start to have a heart for knowing spirit has your back, divine has your back. It just asks you to surrender. And when we're going throughout our day-to-day life, we're on our journey, and we're really making a lot of headway. We're feeling really good about how our heart resonates and how we're adjusting with life, and we're setting up some new patterns that are really working for us. And there might be somebody in your community, or some people in your group. It could even be a partner, and in essence, they're kind of no longer resonating in the same energy as you are. You're kind of skipping ahead a little bit, and you're seeing things a little bit differently, and all of a sudden some conversations might get a little bit more complicated, or you might be holding back a little bit as to, oh, maybe I shouldn't share that because they won't understand what I'm saying, or they might think I'm going really too woo and so on, not understanding that. So sometimes there's a tendency to be guarded. So we begin to think about how we might affect other people. And then we get distracted. We no longer focus on our soul's journey, our soul's growth. So just a reminder, in the journey of the soul, in the journey of your divinity, in your journey of going back to Father, Mother, God, the source of all, the unity and the unconditional love and everything, that the essence of being divine, there's no win or lose. We're all on the same path, but we might be going at a different pace. We might have different learnings. We might have different soul contracts that we need to learn. And the thing that we need to perhaps remind ourselves is that you can't do the learning for someone else. And you can't really do the teaching in essence, because only a person's soul kind of does the teaching for them. You can say what you want, but only when they let it drop in their heart and they process it, maybe it becomes something that they grab onto. It's not your responsibility. And sometimes we think that maybe I'll just wait for this person. I'll put my life on hold, and maybe after I encourage them or set my example or have a good role model into a different behavior that is more fitting for a relationship or a partnership and so on, that they'll just come alongside. Trust me, it doesn't always happen. And you can waste an awful lot of time, awful lot of years, and in that can feed pain and sorrow and disappointment and so on. So just remember, there is no waiting. There is, people aren't going to necessarily catch up. And it's not your job to make sure that you bring everybody with you. It's such an individual thing. And that's a part of the surrender, is surrendering perhaps your family, your community, even your relationships. But trust the Spirit has something so much better for you, something that's not a counterfeit, but something that is so real and so spiritual, divine, that all of a sudden, like, we're at the precipice that everything that we hold dear now, it begins to show up as really false and fake and phony. And what's just around the corner, everything that's related to spirit and growing into your divinity, that's the real goods there. That's exactly who we are. That's how we can practice being our authentic self. So you don't need to help others. It's more important to continue to help yourself along the journey. Spirit will always guide you and will always give you confirmations. You might do something tough one day, but the Spirit will show up. If you have eyes and ears to hear, you'll get the confirmation. Yes, you did the right thing. We got your back. Let's move on. And life can be so joyful. It can be so exciting when you feel connected with Spirit. And the more that happens, the more you resonate in a higher frequency, and you get less concerned about so much stuff around you. The Bible, for instance, says, don't be in the world, or don't be of the world. Don't be of its systems. Don't be attached to all of what the world has to offer. But you can live in the world, kind of like a lighthouse, showing a different kind of energy that people will perhaps respond to or not. And then that's their learning, right? So don't be of the world, but be in the world. And the Spirit, I guarantee, your life will become easier. And the Spirit will allow things to come into your life that will be sweeter. So just a reminder, just anything that is kind of pressing against you, realize it's probably just related to fear. And fear isn't real. Fear is a construct of the mind. Fear is based on things you can't really see or touch, or things that are only made up in the mind. So fear is often related to something you feel, if I do this different, I might lose something that I have. Well, chances are it's a lie, but it keeps us from moving forward. Or sometimes fear is like, well, if I do this, something might come into my life that I don't want. So it's either fear of losing something or gaining something you don't want. And that's kind of the fear. But when you realize that Spirit has so much waiting for you, and it has so much joy to offer you, and it has so much abundance to give you, and such joy, and has just a better, higher plan for you, my goodness, just work on yourself, enjoy that, don't be pressured, just rest in it. And it's not as complicated as you think. Every time you surrender, Spirit gets sweeter and sweeter, and you get more confidence. You can hold your head up straighter and square your shoulders, and you start to resonate in a space that, wow, you feel, getting to know what's going on in here, and it brings great joy. And anyway, I'll leave it at that.